Alright, my friends. Alright, my friends. Let's do some problems that will put everything together, right? Why do we in the world want logarithms? Well, here is why, and let's go ahead and do it. Mr. AC deposits $200 in a stock, increasing by 12% per month. Write an equation that models this scenario, and this is the big thing. How long until his account has $10,000? This is the reason why we like logarithms. We can solve problems like this, all right? So let's go ahead and get started. Well, let's start off. Well, we know we're increasing by 20% per month, right? So the keyword is increasing. So no matter what in this stock, it will always be 200. Right? We're never going to get lower than $200 because we're increasing. So we're going to keep 100% of my $200, my 100% of my original balance plus my interest rate per month. And we get 120%. Well, I need to turn this to a decimal. So I divide by 100 and I get 1.20. Okay. This is my constant multiplier. Okay. If you want to see more in-depth videos on this, I would recommend check out my category on my playlist called E1. This is where I go over problems like this, but this question down below here is really the logarithmic section. So to write our equation, we got y is equal to 200, 1.20 raised to the t. Okay. Let me label some variables. T is equal to time elapsed. Okay, this is in months. Well, what does y represent? Well, y represents the total money, right? Total account money, right? The total amount of that stock, right? Now that we have this equation, we want to see how long until his account has $10,000. All right, well, let's plug in 10,000. Plug in the 10,000 for the y because the y represents total money. We want to find t, which is how much time has passed by. How long do I have to wait? How many months until my account is 10,000? So I plug the 10,000 for the y. We're going to have 200, 1.20 raised to the t. Well, to get rid of the 200, we just divide it out. Okay, because we don't want that when we want to convert it. Let's take our handy dandy calculator. Some of us should be able to do this in our brain. Some of us can't. For some reason, sometimes I make silly mistakes, so I just like to use my calculator. And we do get 50. I should have known that, but it's all right. We get 50 is equal to 1.20 raised to the t. All right. So let's go ahead and label some things. The 1.2 is my base. The 50 is my output. And the t is my input. All right. So we want to convert this to logarithmic form because if we do, we can solve for t because the input will become my output. So we'll write log. Well, what's your base? 1.20. So 1.20. I'll put parentheses blank. All right. Well, this is your output. So that's got to become your input. So that has to go in here. And this is your input. Again, that becomes your output, which is lovely. Because now I can solve this problem. Now I can find out how long it takes until my account reaches 10,000. So we got t is equal to log of 50. Again, this is just a little trick because our calculator doesn't have 1.2 as a base option. At least mine doesn't. Divided by log of 1.20. And let's go ahead and do that. So log of 50. Divided by log of 1.20, and we get 21. All right, so we're gonna get roughly, it's gonna take roughly 21 months. All right, just about pretty close to almost 2 years until my account grows to $10,000 at a 20% interest rate. All right, pretty cool. And for some stocks, that's common. If you choose the right stock, like Netflix in 2007, oh baby, your account would be booming right now. All right, well, let's look at maybe a different problem, right? Let's say I bought a painting. Okay, for let's say $1,000. Now I would never do that. Okay, I'm not into paintings like that, but maybe you are. You buy a painting and guess what? It's fake. Someone gypped you, someone finessed you, and it's decreasing now. Okay, by 8% per week. Oh my goodness, per week you are decreasing 8%. So you want to get rid of this quickly, all right? And you're going to be on a vacation trip. Unfortunately, you are in vacationing right now and your painting's at home. All right, so it's going to take 3 weeks for you to come back home. Just keep that in mind, 3 weeks. So we want to write an equation for this, right? Let's write an equation. We want to find out how long is a painting going to be worth after 3 weeks, because that's when you come back home, right? You are just angry, all right? And we want to figure this out. Well, first of all, it's decreasing. So, you know, you got 100% of your 1,000, 100% of your value. Well, you're not going to, your 1,000 keeps decreasing. So if you're losing 8%, you got to ask yourself, what percentage am I keeping? Well, we could do 100 minus 8%. And that tells me if I'm losing 8%, I'm keeping 92% of the painting's value. And that's what we want whenever something's decreasing. Well, we divide that by 100, and I'm going to get that this is 0.92. All right, well, let's write our equation. Y is equal to my starting balance, 1,000 times 0.92 raised to the t. Again, where t represents weeks and y represents my total money. All right, now I want to, let's say this. The lowest I'm going to sell this for, I'm either going to keep it, or the lowest I'm going to sell this for is $500, right? So let's find out how long it will take, okay, until the painting is worth $500. So how long until painting is half its value, half its original value. So how long until the painting is half its original value? And if it's shorter than 3 weeks, I'm keeping it. We're keeping it because, you know what, might as well just keep it and it'll look nice. But if it's bigger than that, you know, I'm on vacation for 3 weeks. If it's bigger, then great, we'll sell it for, even if it's $550, we'll do it. But we want a hallmark. So how long until the painting is half its original value? Well, that's 500. Well, let's plug that in for the y. So we get 500 is equal to 1,000. 0.92 raised to the t. Well, again, what do we do to get rid of this 1,000? Well, we divide by 1,000 on both sides. And this gives me 0.5 is equal to 0.92 raised to the t. Let's convert this to logarithmic form. Log, my base is 0.92, right? This is my base. I'm gonna put a little set of parentheses. It is equal to blank. Well, the 0.5 is your output. That's on the outside. So that's gotta become my input now. And this is your input. So that's gotta become my output. All right. Wonderful. So far what we got is t is equal to, well, log of your input, log of 0.5 divided by log of your base, which is 0.92. And if we calculate this, let's find out how many weeks until the painting is $500. All right, let's do log of 0.5. Okay, divided by log of 0.92. And we get, oh man, 8.3. So it's going to take about 8.3 weeks until it's about half its value. That's great. That means if I come back 3 weeks later, I'll be able to sell it for a lot more than 500. All right. I went over one problem that was increasing and one problem that was decreasing with a simple interest. All right. Hopefully you feel a little bit better on that, and you know that they made a lot of sense here. All right. Well, thank you very much. You yourself have a great day.